Surprise, motherfucker.
Good evening, one and all. Yes, guys, welcome to your Flower Hour, brought to you by Car City World, brought to you by his Podcast Nation, sponsored by the beautiful people at AJM Embroidery. We are here. It is Euro season. I am joined by my Scotland to my Germany. He is Mr. Matthew Angel. How you doing, mate? You all right?
I'm good, but I'm going to have to leave you on your own, but I'm sorry.
All right, but no drama at all.
I left the pound for the trolley in the car, so I'll have to go and grab it and I'll be back then.
That's fine, but no drama at all. No problem, buddy.
It was a wind-up, but...
Oh, is he taking a piss? No.
Yeah. Shopping, wish list, pound for the trolley. Come on, Robert. Those tricks, bud. You all right?
Is that a joke? Oh, fucking hell, that was awful. Yeah, we sound bet. All good. All good, baby. We're back again.
We are. Still got your delay
right.
then by the look.
So it's supermarket season, mate. Supermarket season, transfer time. The Euros are happening. Who cares about that? Wales not in it. Cardiff are obviously not in it. So who gives a crap about the Euros? It's all about Cardiff and our wish list. I've been putting together a bit of a list of free agents that I think which could work. So make sure you guys and girls and then them's in the comments. Make sure you put yours in as well, so we can talk about those along the way as well. And yeah, we will get cracking.
So rather than just read off the list, how I thought we would plan it out, because obviously I know you've had a bit more time to do a bit of research than I have. Obviously, we've got the ones that we've probably talked about and Si's talked about over the last couple of weeks, which we'll probably touch base on them. But rather than just name players, I thought perhaps we could just go through and identify perhaps first, and then that might bring on to some of the players, perhaps the areas of the squad we feel needs strengthening. Whether that be if we may potentially lose a player, who could we bring in, or, you know, out of the players you've got on your list, you know, where would they fit into the squad then? So
Wonderful.
Should we start off with the goalkeeper? Obviously, Hovarth has kind of taken the number one spot, haven't he? Do you see Alnwick coming back in at all?
Short answer to that is no. I think his race is done. I seen that. Was it Turner? Is it the young lad, the keeper, who recently signed a new contract? What's that?
Matthew Turner.
Yeah, I see he's just signed a new contract, which doesn't mean that much in fairness. But I think that, yeah, to answer your question in short, I think that Alnwick is done. When I've been doing my little nosing around and things like that, I see that Neil Everidge is a free agent again. So could be an interesting one. I mean, I'd love to know all your thoughts on would you have Neil Everidge back? I think he was one of the best keepers we've had in modern times. I think in the last 10 years, I think at least Neil Everidge was a very, very good keeper for us. Very rarely made a mistake. So I think he will be would be a good addition. But they've obviously paid money for that Horvath, and whether he was bullet signing is another thing. I mean, well, that's a question straight off the bat. Do you think Horvath was bullet signing, or do you think he was the transfer committees?
Again, don't really know, do we? But he's taken his opportunity. He's a little bit dodgy at the start, but he's kind of finding his feet. Then, should we say? I agree with you regarding Jack. I'd be surprised to see him in a City shirt, which I'm disappointed about, really, because I thought he was a good keeper, and he got whether it was the way he reacted, and rightfully so, really. He got dropped for Ranasson last year. And then obviously Horvath come in and kind of lost his place through injury. So he apparently was mentioned, but yeah, I don't know. But we'll see. But yeah, I seen that Neil Etheridge was thing. I think he's 33, 34 now. So it wouldn't be a bad signing, I don't think, as to come in as a number 2 goalkeeper behind Horvath. And maybe that Matt Turner then push into, play cup games and stuff like that.
I think it's definitely plausible. He knows the club. I don't think he would demand big wages. Ulrich is still on a fee. We would command a fee for him if he goes. So I think it could be good business if they was to get some money for Ulrich and recoup that money, and then some with free agent for Everidge. Might be a good bit of business potentially. Whether he would, excuse me, whether he will take over from Howarth is a whole new ball game, in fairness. But yeah,
nice to see you found your T-shirt, buddy.
I have that.
Bottom of the washing basket, is it?
It was, mate. Yeah, it's Kelly's fault. She hadn't washed it quick enough. But no, I know it's nice to have it back. In fairness, I definitely haven't lost weight, but it does feel loose till the last time I've worn it. So maybe it's been in there for a good few washes, potentially it's run through a few. So
it was that weekend in Burnham on Sea where you didn't eat all weekend and you just drank instead. So that's what it was.
So then it's all I don't drink.
Where did you get your shirt from, Bat?
Oh, AJM Massive.
Happy days, happy days. Proud sponsors of the show. The logo's in the top right-hand corner of the screen, and there's a banner going across the bottom of the screen telling you all about our wonderful sponsors, Matt Browne and his staff at AJM Embroidery and Print. They specialise in doing all types of embroidery, school uniforms, football kits, rugby kits, personalised T-shirts. So please look them up. They've got a Facebook page. They've got a website. They've got a shop based in Cumval in Vach. And yeah, they're brilliant. Customer service is great. So if you do need anything, get in touch with them, guys. Like a bit of a plug there.
Move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll leave all that stuff down to you, mate, because I'm all for that stuff like that. So, a Supercar City FC fan, welcome. I don't think I've seen your name pop up before, so lovely to have you join us. Doesn't want Neil Everidge to return to Car City FC.
Elaborate.
Is it a particular reason? Yeah, is there a particular reason why? Do you think that he's just not good enough? Or was you not a fan of him beforehand? I'd love to get your view on it and as to your reasons behind it, if you may. So while we wait for the response on that, should we move to defence?
Yeah, so what have you got any defenders on your list of potential wish list then? Yeah. So obviously there's some rumours flying around still that Perry NG is likely to potentially move on, and you can't begrudge him if a club come in. You couldn't begrudge him moving on. He's been fantastic for us for the last couple of seasons. I think he's had Player of the Year the last 2 years on the bounce, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Obviously, it'd be gutted to see him go, but if he's going on to bigger and better things, then who are we to stand in their way? So, have you looked at potentially somebody to replace him?
Yeah. So, let me turn my thing off so it doesn't lock on me. So, the first one that came to mind was Brandon Williams. Now, he's just been recently released from Ipswich Town. Sorry, I beg your pardon. From United, I think he was released from. Or even Sheffield United, possibly. I'm not too sure. Yeah. So Man United. Try again, Rob. He's just been officially released from Man United. Now, predominantly, he plays as a left back, but he can play right back. He's very experienced as a championship footballer.
Has he been out on loan at championship clubs, have he?
Yeah, mate. So most of his career, he's played for Norwich on loan. He's done Ipswich on loan as well. He's made over 20 appearances for United as well. So I think that'd be a good shout. I think the stumbling block potentially could be. I'll jump to that comment in a second, Joshua. The stumbling block on that could be wages, because I think you probably demand quite high wages. Just jump into Joshua's comment here. Brandon Williams has a court case over his head. Careful what you say in the comments, but if you're going to elaborate for me on that as well, because I'm not aware of that, if I'm honest. So that could potentially be one of the reasons why he has been released. If it's that bad, mate, I'll just look it up myself in a bit. So that's quite an interesting comment there, mate. Before I move on forward from that, Super Car City fans replied about Neil Everidge, because old age 32 plus, I like a young goalkeeper. Yeah, I get that, but I think what we got to remember as well is with goalkeepers, a lot of the times they don't come into their pomp until their early 30s, mid 30s sometimes. So I wouldn't poo-poo the fact that because he's what would you say he was 33, 34, the average 33,
so, yeah,
something along those lines. I don't think that age is that much of an issue at this time. I still think he probably has maybe 2 or 3 more years left to possibly play at a decent level. But I get what you're saying, though. But I suppose that's why we've signed the contract for Turner, to have that younger option in the background. I don't think you can have as a decent outfit in the championship a first team goalkeeper who's in the late 20s, 30s, or whatever Harvard is, and then have a backup keeper who's a kid. Do you know what I mean? I think you have to have experienced.
I'll use the example, and obviously Rohan Luthra has been released, haven't he? So it could have gone the other way, whereby they kept Rohan Luthra and got rid of Alnwick, and then we've got 2 young keepers who really haven't had much championship experience at all then. And I think then potentially that could have been a struggle for us. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think so, mate. I think that's a fair point. Absolutely.
And it just goes to, he's probably at the stage of his career now where he probably knows that he's, whatever club he's going to move to, he's probably going to be a number two if he wants to play championship football, perhaps. If he's got ambitions and he just wants to play games, maybe he'll drop down a division or two. But
maybe go back down to League One potentially.
It'll be interesting to see what happens. But like I said, I wouldn't mind seeing him back.
So should we carry on with the defenders, mate?
Yeah, so we was covering Perry NG, and you mentioned about that Brandon Williams, but it looks like he might be spending a bit of time.
He's in a spot of all. Yes, we won't talk about him again for the sake of our shows. So we'll move on from him. So I have another fullback in mind. Problem is of him, he is a left back. Pardon me. Ryan Sessegnon from Tottenham. He went to Tottenham with big future. Looked like he was going to be the real McCoy, and it's not panned out. He's had a few loan spells, and he's ended up being released as well. But there is talent there. I'm just going to quickly look now who's been on loan. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Reece said he's already joined someone. Now, can he have already? I didn't think the transfer window's open or anything yet, unless it's been pre-agreed or something.
He's a free agent. Yeah, he's a free agent. Yeah, he's a free agent, mate. So, yeah, he was on loan. He spent, beg your pardon. He broke through at Fulham, 16-19 season, scored 22 goals in 106 games at left back, left midfield. And he must have only been, 8 years ago? He was like the age of 16 to 20, basically. Apparently he's gone, so that's dead. So thank you for poo-pooing that, Reece. Thank you, mate. So not a... okay, before I move on to my next one, would you take Colorado? Who's available?
Oh, we was getting to like you.
I would.
No.
I'd take Colin Roberts. You would?
No.
Just purely because of the Swansea connection, or just not a fan?
I just don't think he has got the. I'm not a fan of him playing for Wales, and I like you know, I don't really follow the football much, but I don't think he's had great reviews playing for Wales, have he?
He's not as good as he was a few years ago, but the thing is, I'd put that largely down to he's not found a forever home, if you like, for a while. He's not the same player he was when he played for Swansea for Wales. He had a couple of moves that's not worked out. He's been back up at right back, and it begs a question now with Burnley. He's a Burnley, isn't he? And he was on loan at Leeds. So it begs the question now that Burnley are back in the Championship, whether he'll play and get more game time. What was I going to say to you? So moving on. So, yeah, before I move on from that, actually, I wouldn't be against it. He's not the worst signing we could do. He's a damn sight better than Marlon Romeo by a bloody country mile. Where it's a massive step in the right direction, beggars belief, but I don't think it'll happen personally. Reece says about Cody Drama, that's not going to happen, mate. As much as we want it, it ain't happening. Leeds have offered him a new contract, and
I've seen why they've offered him a new contract.
I've seen why.
Yeah. So he's under 24 and he's 23, I think he is. He's a December birthday, so he's 23 or 24 in December, I think. So with the transfer thing, if a player is offered a new contract and he's under the age of 24, if he refuses that contract and moves to another club, the parent club are entitled to compensation because they've offered him a new deal, although he's failed to accept it. So in Leeds' defence, it's good business from Leeds' point of view, because if he does move on now, they're entitled to compensation.
Wow. What a great bit of knowledge you have. You surprised me there, mate. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah, so like I said, Leeds might have no interest in keeping him at all, but at the end of the day, if he does move on, then rather than going, he's just leaving the club for nothing, at least they're going to get some kind of financial reward for him.
That's interesting.
Because he's a good player. And what's that?
That's a really interesting point, that, mate.
Yeah. Well, I'm not just a pretty face, Robert.
Oh, sorry. If you see me leering to the left, sometimes it's because I got the Germany-Scotland game on the side.
I thought you had. I thought you had a twitch in your eye. I did.
Anyway, moving on from fullbacks, centre halves. So, with the fact that Phillips, unfortunately, is probably not going to sign on with us, so I look at a couple of centre halves for us. I've got two. Again, like I said at the start of the show, these are all free agents as of when I searched them. So the first one is Sean Hutchinson. He most recently played for Millwall. He played for Millwall for a number of years. Very solid, very experienced championship centre half. No nonsense leader. I think that he is, he's 33 years of age, so he's been around the block a little bit. He knows the crack. And I think that he could be a decent little freebie. Do you know much about him yourself, Sean Hutchinson?
No, I can't say that I do know much about him. I'm not going to lie to you. But again, it's going back to, I think, a comment I was said earlier about Bullet and signing aging players then, shall we say. But I think the Championship is such a tough league. You need to have players with experience, and you need to have them old heads in and around the team. Without a shadow of a doubt.
The players have been in and done it.
Yeah, 100%. And those are the players. Those are the types of players then who are going to help the youngsters when the youngsters come in. I see that Conte have agreed a new deal as well now, haven't he? As well this week, which is good news because he came into the side towards the end of last season, and I thought he'd done really well. In fairness to him, so that's another positive signing for us that he's agreed to stay on. How much football he'll have, whether he'll stay with us or go out on loan, I'm not sure. But yeah, at least it's good that we've tied him down. So who's your other one?
So another one that comes to mind, I'm sure Sai spoke about him back last summer, is Tyler Blackett. So he is a centre half that used to play for Rotherham. I know, granted, they have a great season, but he is a man of quite a substantial amount of experience. Played for United, Celtic, Reading, Forest, little stint in America. Again, I think England under 21 international as well. I think he'd be a decent little freebie. I think he's a good footballer. He knows how to play football. I think could be a decent shout potentially, but I'm just thinking of alternatives, like I said, for Phillips. Obviously if McGuinness go that, be interesting to see what happens. Well, we still keep hold of McGuinness.
Yeah. Keeper's name has been mentioned a few times. I know he's been offered a new deal at Obviously, he was out of contract at West Brom. He's been offered a new deal. I think he enjoyed his time at Cardiff, didn't he? There was talks about him liking or commenting on the social media posts when Bullitt was announced that he'd signed his contract. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we have him back, if he wants to come back. I don't know. Again, I would imagine he's on quite high wages at West Brom. West Brom and
well, that's the thing.
What I wouldn't want to do is sign one player for silly wages, which is going to then take up potential of us having one or two more players in different positions, perhaps. I suppose you've got to look at it and think, if McGuinness and Gutas both stay fit, they're going to play the majority of the season, you would imagine. But obviously, it's proven this year, you do need to have strength and depth in that area. And, it's important that, we got that strength and depth there, really.
Interesting. So, big call for Joshua here.
Another new name in the comments.
Yeah, love that. Hector Cipriano from Peterborough. Greek-born, Cypriot international now. So I must admit, mate, don't know a great deal about him, so I've just been looking him up now. So started his career in professional career in Leighton Orient, a couple of loan spells in non-league, and by all accounts doing well in Peterborough. So for the last couple of years, he's 73 appearances, 10 goals. So the goal return then, that makes me think that he's more of a holding midfielder potentially, because of the goal return. Josh, mate, is that the case? You can enlighten me. And talking about Peterborough as well. Reece says Ronnie Edwards, hot prospect. So I'm guessing he's a young man as well. Paul mentions Raheem Conte for pen to paper on a 1-year contract in the Welsh capital with the option to include for a further year. Cheers, Joshua, mate. He's a box-to-box number 8. So, interesting.
Strike one from the Germans.
Oh, they scored 4 now, are they?
Yeah.
Super Cardiff FC fan, beg your pardon, says, I think Elbert to sign players is home to Car City. Some Elbert players has some Car City type of players signing this summer transfer. Yeah, so I think he has his own mindset as to what he wants and what he wants to sign. It's just whether he's got the least to sign said players. Moving on to the box to box, as Joshua has mentioned, yeah, I do have a couple of, if you want to call them number 8s, if you like, that on my radar. Again, Supercar City FC fan may not like them because of their age. So, first on my list, I've got Gary Gardner, who has, I think he's a quality footballer. He's a very, very good championship footballer. Played in the obviously poor Birmingham team, but I think he's a very good footballer. Gary Gardner who could offer a lot. I don't think he'd command high wages personally, given where he is in his career. But I think that he'd be a good one personally. I'll reel off the next couple on the bounce if you don't mind. So I've got. So the next on my list is Ollie Norwood. I think Cardiff should sign him at any possible chance they get. Northern Ireland International. He is an excellent footballer.
What was his name again?
Just might be Oliver Norwood. he's quality, mate. He's such a good footballer. I do think that maybe some bigger teams may potentially come in for him. He's good. He is very good at this level, and I think he would do wonders for Cardiff. He is a box-to-box midfielder. If we could get him sat next to CEO, that'd be quality. He's a very good footballer. Yeah, he read my mind. He says, "No one if we get him past that piece specialist, make the game run." Yeah, everything goes through him. He's great. I do recommend him being getting the deal done for him. So this one might aggravate people, but I
don't like you to aggravate people.
Conor Hourand. He's a very talented footballer. Yes, he played for Swansea. But he is a very, very good footballer. Again, as you can see by the theme, 90% of my list are late 20s, early 30s. But I think he's got a lot to offer. Fucking hell.
Just signed for Barnsley, he said.
Well, screw you then, Reece, you little dick. All right, so we'll move on from him then. So my last midfielder, unless he's signed for someone or retired or something else, this might be a bit of left field, and the wages may be way out on this one. Adam Lallana. Just been
talk about him.
Excellent.
Haven't there been talk about him going to Wrexham?
Really?
Yeah, I'm sure I've heard that.
Shut up. Is he winding me up?
Probably. Yeah, I'm sure I've heard these.
Oh, there we are then.
Yeah, Paul's just mentioned about Lallana going to Wrexham.
Oh, well, so thank you for ruining it.
I don't know. I seen a name that was released by Bristol City today. A player called Andreas Weimann, Austrian player. He's been at Bristol for a while, I think. What's that? Yeah.
Andreas Weimann, yeah, Derby, Bristol City.
Yeah, he spent the last few games of the season on loan at again, but he's a player who's 33. When I seen his name earlier, he just rung a bell, and he must have had a good performance against us previously for his name to have struck a chord with me, really. But obviously, he's another one who's been released by Bristol. I think he's a bit of an attacking midfielder, but yeah, who knows, Matt? Who knows? But yeah, good that you've got a couple. Some have already signed for other clubs, but never mind. It's ruined your afternoon now that I've reserved tonight. But
it's probably my chips. You all that. Cheers for that, guys. I do have one more. To give as a striker until you all tell me that he's signed for someone else as well. Dwight Gale.
Was he been released by Stoke?
Yes, I think it was. I can't remember off the top of my head. Someone's going to ruin this for me as well now and proper ruin my night. I can't remember where I seen he was released from.
Did he leave Newcastle to go to Stoke?
So he got released by Derby County. So Stoke, yeah. So he was at Newcastle, left Newcastle to go to Stoke City, and then went to Derby. I'm guessing it was January time because he played 6 games and scored 3 goals for Derby County, and has been since released. He's been released, Reece. I've done my research. Unless you've been re-signed. But no, that would be a good signing. But even at League One, I imagine Derby's probably paying high wages, wasn't they? So I can imagine his wages being quite high. But he is a championship goal scorer, mate. He's He
I think
knows
he's
how to
another
score in
one
the
who
championship. He's done
comes
it.
with a. I think he's another one who comes with a bit of a reputation. Or did he do something at Newcastle, or something happened at Newcastle? He done something wrong, or I'm not sure. He got into a bit of trouble or something. But I just don't know if.
God, it's 5-0 now, Germany.
Oh, is it?
Jesus
checking.
Christ.
He's offside. He's offside. His fingernail on his right hand was offside.
Paul says, just check. Sky's put a report in. Lallana, Cyphers Fampton, Joshua is correct. Sean says, oh, welcome, mate. Nice to see a new name as well. Any news on Carl and Grant? No, it's been quiet, haven't it? Have you, any of you guys heard anything at all?
No, I haven't seen anything regarding him on the retained list for West Brom, and I don't think he's obviously been offered a new deal. But I will have a double check now because I had the. I don't think he'll stay at West. But he's another one who's going to do it. He's going to be on high wages with West Brom. What the crack was when he was with us last season, how much of that we would have had to have paid, I'm not too sure. But yeah, he hasn't been named on the released players, and he hasn't been named on offered new deals. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see, because I thought he was out of. I thought it had, yeah, but nothing's been announced. I can't see anything there.
Just jumping to Supercar City FC fan. Need a backup to box player for him. What's your thoughts on Turnbull as being taking up that position and being that box player? Do you think he's good enough? This is not necessarily to you, Ainge, for Supercar City FC fan. I just wonder if he or she thinks that Turnbull is good enough, whether they think that they are the person that could be that person that player to take on that role going forward. Reece says about Grant, from my understanding, excuse me, beg your pardon, we paid the full 40k they were paying due to West Brom running out of money. They got sold in Feb, and the new guy doesn't need the money. He's got another year left to run Grant as, so he's dead to us then. I'm not. Well, you guys and girls in the comments who've watched us on previous shows, I won't lose sleep over that. I don't underestimate he can play football, but he certainly is not my favourite footballer that has played for Cardiff this season, and we'll leave it at that just in case he ends up joining in the future on our shows. So Paul says,
going back to that question you just mentioned then about Aaron Ramsey's replacement, Turnbull as a replacement. Do you see Turnbull as a replacement, or could you see Caldwell fit in that bill as well, or would you like to see Caldwell a bit maybe further up the field?
Yeah, I don't think Caldwell does the box to box. He's a cam number 10 wherever you.
But I don't think Ramsey's going to call in. Ramsey's not going to be able to do the box to box stuff now either, is he? Really, he's not going to have the legs to be able to do that consistently for. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So some lovely comments here again. So really appreciate the interaction tonight. So Supercar City FC fan says, I think maybe we'll work for Turnbull box to box role. I think that's his position. I do think that's his position. He's, they put him as a cam attacking midfielder for large parts of last season. There was a game. What did we watch? Was it a Rotherham game, wasn't it? And he drifted out to right midfield, and I thought they'd changed it because he looked so much better when he went out to right mid. He's not a right winger. He's the more old school right midfielder. Do you know what I mean? Where they're not
I think
bombing forward.
you've shown us glimpses of some good things that he can do. I just think, going back to Sean's comment there, obviously the drop down from Scottish football to Championship football, I think it's going to take any player time to settle in. And obviously, if you're not playing consistently, which he hadn't, he'd been coming off the bench, or he'd start and he'd go off. I don't think he really had a consistent run in the team, did he? In all fairness, so hopefully now with
start, wasn't it?
Yeah, hopefully now with a good pre-season behind him, perhaps we'll see him a bit more of a run with him. But again, that'll depend on how Aaron Ramsey goes through pre-season, how fit he is, how the manager maybe manages Aaron Ramsey this year. Will be interesting to see. Does he play him more at home than away? Are they going to look after him a bit more and not risk him? Do you know what I mean? I think that'll probably play a big factor in it this year as well.
Agreed. This is an interesting one from Sean again. Tom Eaves. So I remember stumbling across Tom Eaves many, many years ago when, correct me if I'm wrong, Reese, Sean, potentially others in the chat, when he was coming through at Bolton, I want to say, and he was picked to be the next breakout striker, the old school big lump centre forward, and as he mentions there, he does cause some damage. He's a big old boy, strong lad, can score, can finish. Potential probably not lived up to it as what it was expected of him, but he was supposed to have been like a proper go on to big things. It's gonna be 6 year now, 5 year, but yeah, he was at Bolton. Can't remember him playing much for them. He went through Bolton Academy if I'm not mistaken, and he looks like he could be a good. He's a proper old school number 9, like, you know what I mean? Big, hold the ball up, lay it off. He's like Keanu Tete, but can hold the ball and make a touch, etc. So
when you look at a player like him, then, right, and I'll read some of the clubs out that he's gone to. That Tom Eaves, he was with Bolton from 2010 to 2016. Only made 4 first-team appearances, didn't score any goals. He spent time out on loan at Bristol Rovers, Shrewsbury, Rotherham, Yeovil, Bury. Then he had a move to Yeovil Town, then to Gillingham. Played 97 games for Hull City between 2019 and 2022. Scored 14 goals in 97 games. Before then, moving to Rotherham, who he's currently with. Scored 6 goals in 53 games. So, looking at his appearances and goal ratio, he's not a 20 goal a year, striker. And what would ring alarm bells for me really is the fact that he hasn't really, for his age as well. Now he's played at, and there's no disrespect to the clubs that he has played for, but they're League One, League Two clubs. So I think that would be a bit of a punt. That would be a bit of a punt for us, really, whereby I think we need, and I know it's difficult, but we need a proven goal scorer. If there's ever such a thing, I know that goals are not given type of thing. You've got to earn them, but it'd be nice if we could try and get someone in the building who's going to score you 15, 20 goals. And like I said, you've probably got more chance of finding Rocking or shit, but you never know.
Yeah, I think the thing is of him, he's there to cause problems. So he's not there to be your 20, 30 goal a season player. So it would work if they have him with, for example, going back obviously a bit, if he was with a Chopra, if he was with an Andy Campbell, a Robert Earnshaw, for example.
So I'll throw this at you then.
He does that. Yeah,
If we was to sign that Tom Eaves, then who would play up alongside him? If he's going to score the problems, who's going to be that 15, 20? Is there anybody in the building now, or is it somebody else we need to bring in as well? Yeah, Ashford, potentially Isaac Davis coming back if he's running on to flick-ons and things potentially.
It's the old school little and large combo, isn't it? Then like the Ernie and Leo, Thorny and Leo. Thorny and Ernie, etc. Gavin Gordon and Andy Campbell, etc. That's the little and large combo you want. Of the olden days. Whether it still works isn't a matter altogether. Like it just all depends how he's going to set up. That's the thing, isn't it? Because it ain't going to work if you're doing 4-3-3. And that's
Scotland have scored
unless. Shut up. How far behind am I then?
86-54, my tally.
What's that?
87 minutes now.
Oh, Christ, I'm like a minute behind you. So while I'm waiting for this to all go in, we will wrap it up soon, guys, anyway. So make sure you get your comments in and questions in and whatnot. Oh, my God, what goal was that? What was that?
What I think I'm not sure if we touched upon this previously as well. Obviously, there's always going to be rumours around until he signs for another club. But Kiefer Moore, I think we mentioned it last time. Do you think that ship have sailed for him now with Cardiff City? I think it might have been signed when I was talking. No. What do people in the chat think? What do people in the chat think about Kiefer Moore? Would you be happy if we could to get him back? Obviously, I don't think he's proven himself enough in the Premiership for Ipswich to take a punt on him. That's my personal opinion. But obviously, he's proven that he can score goals in the Championship. Whether or not is something Cardiff will look at, I don't know. But if they're going to do it, they just need to go to him and say, are you interested in coming? It's either yes or no. None of this, or hanging about waiting. We've fallen foul of that twice before, haven't we? So it's I think personally the ship has probably sailed and he's gone. But it's not one I'd be disappointed at if he did come back, because, like I said, he's a proven goal scorer and he will score goals for us. But I just don't think we'll get it over the line.
2 seconds, Sage. Keep talking a minute.
What are you doing now? But yeah, thank you very much, guys, in the comments. Great interaction tonight. I'm not sure how many viewers we've had tonight. I think we had record viewing the other night for our quiz night on Wednesday night. We will be back next Wednesday. Quiz night again. Robert's in charge of that one, so it's always decent when Rob does it, in fairness. We do have a bit of banter back and forth who is the best, but yeah, it's just making sure there's interaction. You guys make it on a Wednesday and, normally a Saturday. We do the Flower Hour, but obviously Si's got some family commitments and he's asked us to swap tonight. So we're bending over backwards to help the boss man out. But yeah, me and Rob both really appreciate all your support, all your interaction. Absolutely brilliant to see some new comments and new names in the chat tonight. Alongside our regulars. But Sean, Joshua, and Super Cardiff City, been great to see you get involved tonight, asking questions and giving some of your opinions. And then obviously we've got our regulars then, Reese, Paul. I haven't seen GD Parry tonight. Is he? I don't think he's been about tonight, have he?
He's watching a football match, I think.
Perhaps he's gone with Lorna. Perhaps he's gone with Lorna to watch Adele.
Yeah. What I was going to say was, obviously we got. I vaguely heard you saying it. Got return of the quiz on Wednesday. That's when we're going to be back next. It's my turn, baby. So, let me know if there's anything specifically you want me to do a quiz around. You guys are on, if you're on Facebook or whatever, drop me a message on Rob Boyle on Facebook and let me know. Sorry, I can't read that one out. So yeah, message either me or Matt on Facebook or Car City World or Ace Podcast Nation on Facebook if there's any type of quiz you guys want. Otherwise, I'll do my own thing and Angel do his own thing. And it was a bloody good one on Wednesday, like record high views as well. So buzzing with that. So lots to live up to for myself now come Wednesday. But no,
some exciting things coming up as well. I think you're not about next Friday. I'm going down to have a catch up with Si and some of the other guys to do some recording.
Yes.
So that's something to look forward to.
Yeah, I believe I'm away next week. So next weekend. But I'll let you know obviously everything changes. But yeah, keep your eyes on your socials. Don't forget to like, subscribe, love, share, and all that shenanigans. Like I said, any questions or whatever, any recommendations. Obviously, me and Ange, obviously, I've been doing this for too long. So, any recommendations you guys have for us now that the season is over? If there's anything you want us to talk about, ideally card related, but we're cool with whatever, really. We're happy
it's after the 9 o'clock watershed anyway, so we can talk about absolutely anything.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all rogue. It's all rogue. We do some watch alongs as well. We have then I'm cursed. So whenever Wales or Cardiff play, we do a watch along. We lose, so we won't be doing one of those for a while. But no, it's been lush, guys. Seeing new people join us. Don't be a stranger. Come back again, please. We're not that bad.
Yeah, massive. It helps us out massively. The interaction. But if you can't hit that subscribe button on the YouTube channel, it does help Si out a lot. And we'll make sure it obviously is shared in the Premier Bluebirds group. I think Si takes care of all the social media. I think you were in that group as well, Robin. I think I'm in it as well. But
yeah, I'm in our group as well, mate. Yeah, I'm in our group as well, sure, mate.
Yeah, it's shared. But
if you want to drop me a message on there as well, if there's anything, like I said, you got any recommendations or whatever. Oh my God, it's 5-1 now. Or whatever. Like I said, I share my stuff. Simon Willis, who's on Ace Podcast Nation, share the other stuff as well. So yes. Thank you for reminding us as well, Sean. Joe Lady Dance Clock Cons, 7th of July, 10 quid.
6th of July it is, though.
Well, yeah, if you said it was 7th, then you've missed it.
Yeah.
I think
that's a good
left as well. So,
are you going down for that, Sean? There should be a great night. I know, obviously, the Ace Podcast Nation followers right from the beginning. We're all in a WhatsApp group. So obviously now we got the regulars in the chat. Paul, I think it's about time Paul sent us his number to get added into the WhatsApp group. And then if anybody else wants to get added into the WhatsApp group, is a Cardiff City banter and stuff in there. We do keep in touch quite regular for shits and giggles. But it's all good.
So it's a good place to lean on as well. Like, it's a small little family we got, but it's an inclusive family. So we're there for each other, and that's why Ace Podcast Nation was grown on the basis of it's a family looking after one another, and no matter who you are, where you come from. We're all in it together, and it was started by Si during early stages of lockdown, and we have that together, stronger mentality. Not to sound cliche, but it is, and so we're all here for each other, guys. So never hesitate to get in touch, guys and girls. All right. On that note, on that soppy little bitchy note from me, I bid you adieu. Thank you. Good night. God bless. There's nothing left to say.
Up a flower.
Up a Flower. Oh,
Swagger down the street. Lips and funky beat. You better hold your head up to the sky. I'm gonna roll with you till the day I die.